Hey guys, Scott here. I was about to actually just go to sleep, but I saw that Bandai Namco just tweeted the patch notes for 1.04 for Elden Ring, and it's actually pretty long. So I took a quick gander and just saw like, oh my god, there's actually a lot of shit here. So I was honestly too excited to go to sleep. I want to read this all with you guys right now and give my thoughts on whether or not these things are good. But yeah, there's the sheer content, the sheer amount of things is a wonderful sign. So that's really great. Okay, first off, camera auto-rotate, that's whatever. And then some event phases for patches. I wonder what that means. I guess he's going to appear somewhere else. That's cool. You know, I'm obviously more focused on the PvP stuff. These things are very annoying. We'll try to ignore them. Balance adjustments. First off, increased Colossal Sword and Colossal Weapons attack speed and lowered their recovery time. Jump attack not included. So this is one of the main suggestions that we all had for the Colossal Weapons. It was to have faster attack time and better recovery. Short of having an ability to feint attacks, this is exactly what that weapon class needed. So that is awesome. Just objectively a wonderful change. Increase the two-handed attack damage of Colossal Swords and Colossal Weapons. Jump attack not included. So this one I'm actually a little bit mixed about because I think Colossal Swords with the amazing Ultra Great Sword poke did not actually need a damage buff. They do pretty high damage. My Great Sword in the last video I just uploaded had 870 AR or something like that. Pretty damn high. However, because Colossal Weapons have a significantly worse moveset, I think they needed to have way more damage. So this might be sort of an unintentional buff to Colossal Swords, while Colossal Weapons, it's a wonderful, well-needed buff. So Colossal Weapons are getting just a huge buff between damage, attack speed, and recovery. So that is very, very, very good. I will say, though, I'm not sure... Yeah, no, that's fine. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, so far, I would say definitely so good. Increase the physical block rate and guard boost of Colossal Swords, Colossal Weapons, Great Swords, all that stuff. Now, typically, you're not going to want to block with your weapon. Now, if they put this to an insanely high amount, then blocking with your weapon might actually be a viable thing. But typically, weapons are just going to be way, way worse in terms of stability for blocking. So if you end up blocking with a Great Sword, you're just going to get guard broken, and it's going to be very painful. So you typically don't want to block with weapons, but it's still cool that they're making it perhaps a bit more viable. So still, good change. I don't see any reason to dislike that at all. Increase damage of the Grafted Blade Greatsword. It's an Ultra Greatsword, so that's fine. I think that's totally fine. Damage of the Devourer Scepter. Devourer Scepter, I believe, is the one from Bernal. I have not actually used that weapon myself, so I actually cannot comment on that. I know it's one of the legendary armaments. I've just never used it, but the fact that no one uses it probably means it's not that great, so I'm glad they increased the damage of it. Decrease the scaling of status buildups from spells and incantations of the Albanurak Staff and Dragon Communion Seal. I knew it was intended. Everyone was saying it was bugged. It was bugged. I was like, no, it's supposed to scale with your arcane stat. The problem is the scaling is just too much. Now, the issue here is, though, I think it's still going to be too easy to abuse that and get, like, instant madnesses on people. So that's going to be one of the things we have to actually physically test and not just read on some patch notes. But good. That's good. I don't think that the Dragon Communion Seal should have been the best seal. It doesn't really make any sense. Decrease the effect of the Great Shield Talisman for weapons with high block rate. Whatever. Now, if they include shields in here, then that's a wonderful change, because that would make the Fingerprint Shield actually not have infinite stability. I'm going to assume that's what they mean, because why would it matter for weapons, right? It's obviously going to be for shields. So I'm going to assume this means that the Fingerprint Shield can no longer have infinite stability, which is a wonderful change, because that was probably the most broken thing in the entire game. So that was very, very important to fix. Next, shorten the length of the Madness Afflicted animation. Interesting. So, okay, now even if it does Instant Madness, you probably can't Chain Madness anymore, which I'm guessing it's probably going to be a bit longer than a Frenzied Burst, because right now, it's just the exact duration of a Frenzied Burst. So it's probably going to be slightly longer, so you can't be chain disabled by that, which, good. Lower the speed of Madness Build-Up Recovery. Okay, so they nerfed the animation of it, but now it also drains slower. So, kind of give and take there. Slightly increased FP and stamina growth rate at lower levels. Good. I think the mind curve was stupid. The fact that 10 to 20, you got like nothing, and then 20 onward, then you get 6. I'm hoping they kind of change that, and that's what it sounds like they did. So, excellent. That's a very good change. Players need to perform any of the following actions for the change to be reflected. Okay, so this is just all that stuff. Gotcha. Sorceries and incantations. Crystal Barrage. That's the fanning out one. Increased cast speed and increased recovery time. Cool. Gavel of Hema. I really wanted this spell to work. It was just too slow. Increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Allows caster to move or to more easily withstand enemies' attacks while casting. So that's a fancy way of just saying it gives you hyper armor. So that's really cool. So Gavel of Haman now is faster, has better recovery, and now has hyper armor. Awesome. That's a really, really good start to the spell change. It's really cool. Shatter Earth seemed like it got the exact same treatment, gave it hyper armor faster. Rock Blaster now has better recovery time as well. Also more hyper armor. Very cool. Very good changes so far. Top's Barrier increased area of effect and slightly increased effect duration. That's good. The two Moons increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. That's good. They were basically useless in PvP, so that's wonderful. Carrying Greatsword increased cast speed at lower dexterity. Okay, so they adjusted the graph. That's cool. Magma Shot. This spell's horrible. Decreased FP cost and increased cast speed. It better be much faster because that spell's really bad. Roiling Magma. Increased cast speed and decreased time until magma explodes. That's good. We're really going to have to see how much cast speed these things have actually gotten because those spells are just really, really underwhelming and they need probably more than just cast speed to be usable. Gelmir's Fury, also really bad. Decrease the random nature of projectiles range and increase the damage with the lava pool. Increase the hitbox. That's good. I'll have to test that one. Ricard's Rancor, decreased FP cost. Always welcome. Oracle Bubbles, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time. Good. Great Oracular Bubble, increased cast speed. Same thing. Also good. Briar's Sin. Decreased recovery time, increased blood loss buildup on enemy. And it seems like both of those. So they buffed the Briar spells. That's good. I'm actually kind of okay with that. Explosive Ghost Flame. This is awful. Decreased FP cost and recovery time. The recovery time there, it was the real key. It, I think, has the longest recovery time out of any spell in the entire game. It's like literally 4 seconds. So if they made that actually okay, then that would probably be cool. It also costs a ton of FP. I think it needs to do more damage too for how slow it is. It only does like 900 damage on a super high sorcery scaling staff. So I still think that needs more. Tibia Summon, increased damage and cast speed. I don't think that spell's ever going to be usable regardless of the damage or cast speed, but we'll see. Tail, decreased FP and stamina cost. Cool. Horn, decreased FP and stamina cost. Increases the distance traveled when not charged. Okay, cool. So now it goes a little bit even if you're not fully charged. Made it easier to cause enemies to flinch when charged. Made it easier to cause enemies to flinch when charged. It would always make people flinch because it would fling them up in the air. I'm wondering what that means. Increased cast speed of Elden Stars, decreased recovery time. Good, that spell is terrible. Black Blade as well. Got the same thing. Discs of Light, increased damage and cast speed. Good, good, good. Triple Rings of Light, increased damage. Good. These spells were all terrible, so they needed to be buffed. Radagon's Rings of Light, decreased FP cost. Good. Increased damage and cast speed. Good. Decreased recovery time. Good. Just buff to every single aspect of the ability, which it needed because it was desperately outshined by lots of other things. So that's great. I'm very excited to use that again. Lightning Strike. That's the one that does the shockwave of bolts. Decreased stamina cost, increased cast speed, and decreased recovery time. Cool. Hone Bolt, increased cast speed and decreased... They buffed Hone Bolt. Interesting. Hone Bolt was actually one of the best incantations in the game. It was pretty scary, especially when you combo cast it with like a Bestial Sling or something. That may be terrifying. Gotta watch out for that. Ancient Dragon Lightning Spear, decreased FP and stamina cost, increased cast speed and decreased recovery time, allows caster... Okay, so in a nutshell, they buffed everything, which they really needed to do with these spells. So it costs less, stamina costs less FP, it has faster cast time, and also gives you hyper armor. Still, the damage is pretty low, but at least we might actually be able to hit people with it now, depending on the cast speed, so that's nice. Recovery time for Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. I'm actually okay with this one not getting super buffed, because this goes from nothing to like one-shotting people sometimes. It's very random. Lanciax's Glaive, decreased FP and stamina cost, increased cast speed. I think Lanciax's Glaive needed more damage. I'm glad that they're giving it more cast speed and hyper armor too. That's wonderful. It's a pretty weak ability. It hits for like 600-700 damage. It's pretty I think it needed a damage buff too, and still, I'll take anything I can get for the Dragon Cult family of spells because they were really, really bad. Fortisax's Lightning Spear, just the basically Ancient Dragon's Lightning Spear, but 2 of them. It seems like got the exact same buffs, so very curious to see how much faster that is. Oh man, I got so many things to test tomorrow. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Frozen Lightning Spear, seems like we got all the same things too. It seems like they actually listened. They just straight up listened exactly to what we were wanting with faster cast time, recovery, and hyper armor. They gave every single Dragon Cult spell that. Decreased FP cost, increased the duration of death accumulating smoke. Cool. I still think Death Lightning is actually very good. It does like an insane amount of damage. It can one-shot people. So I think that spell not being buffed is fine. Oh, Flame, increased damage. Cool. Good. As it stands, it was not worth the slower cast time and no combo potential compared to Catch Flame, so that's good. Giant Flame Tankly, decreased stamina cost. That's okay. I think that was one of the few good Pyromancies in the game, so that one didn't really need a huge buff. Flame of the Fell God, decreased FP cost and increased damage. Good. That spell sucked. It was so sad. Whirl of Flame, that's the forward kind of like spiral that goes out. Increased damage, decreased recovery, good. It was terrible. Burn, O Flame. Increased cast speed, and right, also good. All of those spells needed buffs, so that's good. Black Flame. That's the Godslayer version of Fireball. Increased damage, and the spell can break an enemy's guard more easily. Cool. So they increase the posture damage of it. Scouring Back Flame. Decreased FP cost and recovery. Increased attack range and area effect. Good. I always wanted to use Scouring Back Flame because it seems like a cool ability, but it always seemed to stop very short. So the fact that they increased the range is very cool. I want to test that too. Black Flame Ritual. Reduced FP cost and increased damage. That's great. Granks Beast Claw. Increased damage and increased recovery time. Man, these are excellent changes. Blood Flame Talons. Same deal. Blood Boon. Sort of the same deal. Pest Threads, decrease stamina cost. That was still a very good spell. Scarlet Aeonia, it should, before I read any further, it should have a buff to everything. Cast speed, recovery time, hyper armor. Okay, still probably not going to be good, but we'll see. Unendurable Frenzy, decrease the random nature of projectiles and increase madness buildup on enemies. They buffed Unendurable Frenzy? Oh shit, that's terrifying. Okay. Inescapable Frenzy, increased cast speed, so that's the grab, so you're going to be able to grab people faster. Nice. Placidusax Rune, decreased FP, stamina cost, and recovery time. So Placidusax's Rune actually costs 600 stamina, which is more than you can possibly ever get, so it would fully drain your stamina bar. Unless they reduce that by like 90%, it's still going to drain your entire bar, so that's irrelevant. But the FP cost is good, and the recovery time is also good as well. Dragon Claw now has hyper armor. It already had hyper armor, but I guess they have more hyper armor now. Dragon Maw, so hard to hit, but it seems like it's going to come out faster as well, and less recovery. Grail's Roar even got buffed too, which is actually one of the best dragon spells. Stamina cost recovery. Oh, awesome. That's just huge buffs across the board. A Duelist Moonblade. I think this is one of the few spells in the game that actually needed a nerf. Decrease the power of single cast. Okay, so that's when you cast it in your left hand with a double hit, and improve performance of the blades and frost hit more consistently and continuously. Increase cast speed at lower dexterity. Cool. So it seems like they decreased the double hit, which frankly did too much damage. It did like 1600 damage, which is just too much. So I think that's good. A flame fall upon them, decrease the damage of single cast, and improve the performance so that it hits the enemy multiple times. We'll have to test how that goes. Howl of Shibiri, decrease the madness buildup, increase cast speed, and decrease recovery time. Okay. Oh, so they did it all by buffs and nerfs, and now these are just straight up nerfs. Swarm of Flies was nerfed. Decrease blood loss build up an enemy. I kind of hate that spell. It's very annoying, so I'm fine with that. Frenzied Burst also. And so it seems like they actually nerfed the Frenzy spells. Interesting. Very interesting. I think with the Dragon Communion Seal, those spells were a problem. So I think the fact that they fixed the Dragon Communion Seal might have been enough. This might have been unnecessary, but we'll see. Weapon skills. All these are buffs. Oh my god. This is wonderful, man. This is excellent. Lion's Claw, increase cast speed and decrease recovery time. Lion's Claw is the flip, so that's cool that it's faster. Kick, increase cast speed, still worthless. It needs to basically instantly break guard for it to ever be worth actually using, so that's never going to be used. Horluth Earthshaker, increase cast speed on follow-up, decrease recovery time. Good. That was way too slow and way too punishing when you missed it. Troll's Roar was terrible. Decreased stamina cost, increased cast speed. Good. They buffed Giant Hunt, decreased recovery time. So Giant Hunt, one of the main trade-offs was it was an insanely high damaging hit, but it had high recovery. The fact that they buffed Giant Hunt is actually kind of crazy because that was one of the best ashes in the entire game. Storm Assault, decreased recovery time. That's good. Carrying Greatsword. I have never seen someone use this before, so I got nothing. Same thing with Carrying Grandeur. I know it's the charge vertical slash and the charge horizontal slash. I get it, but I've never seen anyone use it before, so I guess we'll see. Gravitas, increased cast speed. Cool. Flaming Strike. Increase the... Wait, they buffed Flaming Strike. Wow, Flaming Strike was one of the best ashes, too. Crazy. Black Flame Tornado added a hitbox to the weapon when spinning and added a window to roll during the attack to cancel the animation. Cool. I like that. I like things like that. Lightning Slash. That's the one that buffs your weapon with lightning. There's like a little thingy. Increased cast speed. Added a hitbox to the stomp animation. Good. Didn't have one before. Sacred Blade. Increased cast speed. Sacred Ring of Light. Increased cast speed. Poisonous Mist. All this stuff is basically whatever. Cast speed, cast speed, cast speed. I'm looking for... I mean, all of these needed cast speed buffs, so I'm very okay with these. I'm just trying to see if there's anything crazy. I'm glad that they buffed Unblockable Blade, too. It was way too slow. Publish Order. Moonlight Greatsword. Decreased FP cost, increased cast speed, and decreased recovery time. Good. I want that thing to be good. Wave of Gold. Decreased FP cost, increased cast speed. They buffed Wave of Gold. Interesting. Wolf's Assault. Same thing. Queen's Black Flame. Increased cast speed. Added a window to roll during the attack to cancel the animation. I want more of this shit. This shit is awesome. That's what I wanted them to do to heavy weapons, give you like an attack feint cancel where you can cancel with a roll, kind of like in Dark Souls 2. I would love that. Dynas Finesse buffed. Decreased stamina cost. Cool. Magma Guillotine, or Guillotine, that's the Magma Worm's sword. Gold Breaker, that's the America Hammer one. I really want to see that. Nebula got buffed. Oh, only the Bastard Stars version. Unfortunately, you have to use Bastard Stars for that. So. What else? Ancient Lightning Spear. Decreased FP cost and increased cast speed. Really? Bolt of Grandsax's Lightning Spear did basically 1,800 damage. So the fact that they're buffing that is kind of nuts. And it gives you hyper armor while using it too. Hot damn. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Everything else, yeah, seems okay. Thundercloud form. Decreased damage when not charged. Decreased FP cost. Thundercloud form, I believe that's the Dragon Crag Blade. The Class of Deus Ex one, right? Yeah. Okay, fixed a bug where the damage of Inescapable Frenzy was affected by right-hand weapon. Oh! Looks like it's not going to one-shot people anymore. It better still do an insane amount of damage, because it's so hard to hit. Fix the bug where the damage of Carrying Retaliation was increased by weapon and status, and the effect was not displayed correctly during the multiplay. Perfect. Carrying Retaliation bug fixed. Fix the bug where the animation when inflicting with Blood Loss and Frostbite was bigger than planned. I'm not sure what that means, but we'll see. Fix the bug during character appearance change in menu when some parameter change is not applied. Okay. I'm just reading all these things that are not super important to at least PvP. Okay. Oh, they fixed the Vike quest line where you can actually invade you now. That's excellent. I know a lot of people had issues with that. It seems like the rest of these things. We fixed the bug that causes Scythe to lose blood loss effect at poison divinities of violent weapon. I didn't know that was a thing. My comment. Increased online multiplayer stability. I'm hoping that results in less connection errors. That sounds excellent. Fix the bug that causes incorrect sounds and playing in certain circumstances. Seems like there's no other there's no AFK farmer thing here, but I honestly, it appears to be it. Absolutely wonderful patch. Extremely good changes. Still a lot more to go. We have a lot of problems still in the game, but this is a wonderful first real balancing patch that we've got. A lot of these things are basically for PvP. So this is just a excellent patch overall, and I'm really looking forward to getting in there and testing all this stuff. It's going to be really fun. So I must say, absolutely well done, Bandai Namco, From Software. All you guys, very well done on this patch. I like almost every single thing I've read, which is rare, and I'm not used to reading patch notes and reading and liking everything that I've read. So seriously, well done. I can't wait to test this stuff. And that's it. Thanks for watching.